Welcome back. I am here with another video, and I want to go ahead and thank everyone for the likes, shares, subscribes, and comments to my channel. I really do appreciate everything. So today I want to go ahead and speak on the topic of trauma bonding with the narcissist. And this is very important, I feel like, because this most of the time is how the connection gets started. Trauma bonding can be created, a trauma bond can be created with anyone in your life, whether it be your parents, your children, whether it be somebody, a stranger, your lovers, platonic friends, co-workers, bosses, any relationship that you may encounter, you may forge a trauma bond with a person. Trauma bonding is, I feel like going through that, it makes you feel like you got someone that can understand what you've experienced. Sometimes you guys, if you guys have a level of empathy, can feel what each other is feeling in the moment when releasing, your trauma to each other, your stories and how you handled it and things like that. So a lot of the times it may seem like I finally got someone that can understand what I've been through. You may have caused the trauma, a lot of the times, even an example of us parents and making mistakes, and whether big or small, can cause trauma to our children. And sometimes our children may latch on to us because of that bond, and be it the bond was traumatic, and the experience that you guys may have shared. And so, you guys have a bond or forge some type of closeness based upon that. As well as partners coming in. You guys may share similar backgrounds. Y'all have backstories that, match. And you really feel a sense of belonging, a sense of like you found a place or someone that can relate to you. Or, sometimes we find home or solitude in speaking with people that understand us, that gets us. Well, with the narcissist, the bond is like that as well. Like I said, you can forge this bond with anyone, but with the narcissist, what I've noticed is you guys share, similar backgrounds in a lot of these cases, and it is something that is kind of like glue. And it's hard to, or like a web, it's hard to get untangled from that web. You've shared some of your personal experiences with this person. This may have been the only person that you've shared some of these traumatic experiences with. And so I know that with the narcissist towards the discard phase, they're going to bring up your past trauma. Don't matter if you guys share the same trauma. You guys could have experienced the same things, and the narcissist will, tease you or will throw it up in your face and say that that's the reason why you guys can't get along is because of your trauma. Sometimes this is true. And then there's other times where they're trying to basically get you to fall in line. So they're using your trauma against you. They're using your trauma as a weapon. And they pull this card when they want you to fall back in line, when they want to regain control of you. They know that it's something that still triggers you. So, of course, they're going to pull that on you. And hopefully it'll get you to fall back in line or feel guilty or go back to that place in time where that trauma occurred. If your narcissist is the one that's causing majority of the trauma, It could be something that reminds you of something traumatic that you have experienced as a child, which is why you have recreated this bond in your adulthood with this person. Also, I feel like with trauma bonding, it is a very difficult thing to really pinpoint, especially when you are unaware of your traumas. Trauma bonding with somebody will allow you to be aware of some of your traumas. Sometimes we're not even aware. So we meet certain people in our lives that will show us or mirror us, show us a reflection of something that's going on in the inside of us. It is great to interact with people and meet different people. And, everything is a lesson and a blessing. So actually meeting people that can show you about yourself is a great thing. Now, what are you going to do with that? There's been several situations that I've been in, especially when dealing with in relationships, where, after you get over that phase where you guys are hot and heavy and you're dating and you're into each other and you're whatever, the honeymoon phase of the relationship, or with the narcissist, the honeymoon phase where everything's cool, you guys relate, y'all getting along, this and that. Well, after that phase is over, then you start analyzing and seeing, well, what's going on, because yes, we share these same traumas, but what are we doing to heal from our traumatic experiences? What are we doing for ourselves, to make sure that we are right? Are we putting our traumas onto another person? So I feel like that is very important. With the narcissist, they are going to continue to cause traumas in your life. And if it's something that was a trauma that you never healed from, it's going to keep recurring over and over again until you work on healing that. You're going to feel like you're repeating the same cycles over and over again. You're going to keep getting tested. You're going to have to keep taking the same test. And just like in school, even though it's the same test, it's going to come in different forms. So the questions are going to be different until you get it right. It is very important to learn how to somehow heal from traumatic experiences so that we will not be latching onto people out of trauma, which in itself is a trauma response. I feel like once you get to a place with the narcissist where you feel like you're done, enough is enough, and you're no longer letting how they feel about you affect you, with your moves going forward, where you're just like, I don't care what happens, I'm moving forward. That's when, you can really say, well, I'm moving forward, I'm done. You know that you have reached a level of healing, even if it's just small. You'll start noticing that the things that the narcissist is saying does not resonate with your spirit. You'll start noticing that when the narcissist enter the room, the energy shifts, the energy changes, and it's not for the good. It actually turns dark. You'll start noticing the deadness, the coldness in these people's eyes when you are looking at them. You'll see that it looks almost lifeless, soulless. And people will say, well, I can't really tell. You'll be able to tell these eyes are, it's just dead out the eyes. The windows is closed. You know how they say the eyes are the windows to the soul? Their windows is closed. The blinds is closed in these people's eyes. You'll notice that you're starting to listen to what they're actually saying to you. This is stuff that y'all might have laughed about for years, or they might have said this stuff to you before and you let it slide, or you didn't pay attention, or whatever the case may be. You'll start noticing that what once was funny is no longer funny. Then you'll start seeing, was it ever funny? Or was I just going along to get along? You will start noticing that you don't have to, nothing says that you have to be with this person. Nothing says that you have to, because this person is your family member, that you have to fool with them. There's no rules to it. There's nothing saying that even if you're the person that caused the trauma, that it's never too late to heal that within yourself and work on your relationship or with whoever else that you may have caused trauma to, if they're open to having a relationship with you. It's never too late for that. I don't care what age you are. Some of us have caused trauma without even, intentionally causing trauma, especially to our children. Because if you're in a relationship with a narcissist and you have kids, whether you know it or not only are you traumatized, but your children are traumatized too at the fact that their parent is in this uncomfortable situation, that their parents are at odds. So it's very traumatizing for everyone in this scenario. There's some things that we can do as people for ourselves to work on the trauma. You might not have all the tools that you need to work towards where you want to be, but you can use the tools that you have right now. These tools are free. There's so many motivational videos that can inspire you to have the courage to heal what's going on inside of you. I recommend sound therapy, where you listen to high frequency vibrations, and they have one for each different chakra. You find the trauma and then you can see what it correlates to as far as your chakras and your colors. And I recommend you listening to that frequency so that it can heal you and restore you. You may listen to this at nighttime. You may listen to this whenever you have a quiet moment. You may also want to write down how you're feeling when you feel like an onset of these emotions, these past emotions from the trauma resurface. That way you can see how's your breathing at that time. What's your thoughts like? How are you feeling? What are you smelling? What are you seeing? What's on your mind? Then that way, when this happens again, these feelings, this hurt, then you can find solutions on working your way through the trauma, because you cannot skip working through your trauma. You have to go through it. You have to feel it so that you can heal it. I recommend everyone going through the 5 stages of grievance when it comes to trauma. It's a process. And there may be times where you're stuck on a step. It may take you longer to complete certain steps than others. But I recommend everyone continue or start to work on your past traumas. A lot of these traumas came from childhood. As I stated before, most of us have toxic, traumatic bonds with our parental figures or whoever raised us. Toxic bonds with a lot of people that we may have considered close to. You'll start noticing when you're healing that a lot of your relationships was trauma bonded. And that's what allowed you to get so comfortable with being in situations where you're bonding with people straight out of trauma. A lot of us have to work on loving ourselves and accepting ourselves so that we don't use our traumas to bond with other people. Feel like you're good enough alone without having these traumas. Who are you without these traumas? Because yes, going through some of these traumatic situations, I'm not going to say it helped us, but we learned a big lesson and we're stronger because of it. We got through it. But then think about it. What if the traumas never happened? As far as the traumas could have happened, but what if it never left an effect on you? How would you be operating if you didn't have that effect? That cause and effect. It's important to visualize yourself being healthy, whole, happy, living the life that you want to live in order for you to slowly start breaking these bonds down. You'll soon realize that the more you start healing yourself, the more you start working on yourself, the more you start focusing on what you like to do, who you want to be, what you would like to accomplish. Who are you outside of this relationship? Who are you outside of this bond that you have with this person? You start realizing that you would like to elevate. You would like to grow. You would like to be prosperous. You don't have to settle. You don't have to stay in a situation where you are in pain, trying to cohabitate with somebody. And I could have just made up that word. But live, operate, work with, open up to with someone that is constantly hurting you and it's intentional. You don't have to put up with it. There's a lot of people from your past that may feel sorry. And I'm also getting the energy of you guys forgive yourselves for going into that situation. It ain't like, somebody's going to say, hey, well, I'm going to go be with a narcissist, or I'm going to go, bond with somebody and then, expect the outcome that you receive. Nobody goes into that thinking that. But these people won't wish that they can right their wrongs with you. Because now they see that you got self-love. Now that they see that their tactics is no longer working. What kept y'all together is no longer working. You don't care. You don't care about the backstory. In fact, you're working on healing your own so that you don't walk around the victim or latching on to people because they have the same similar past as you. Like, when you're connecting with somebody, ask yourself, are we just connecting over stuff that has hurt us? And then if we are, what are we doing to heal ourselves? Because if there's no healing, there's no action behind this traumatic experience, then that may not be the people that you need to be around. Yeah, you have to start seeing the big picture of what's going on. So you are a person that is starting to look outside of the relationship, outside of this friendship, outside of this job, outside of whatever is causing you to have, doubts about yourself, about feeling low, whatever's attacking your confidence. The more that you have self-love for yourself, the more you won't even crave the narcissist, any longer. The thing that you craved about the narcissist is the thing that you need to starve. And you starve that by having self-love for yourself, and you realize that those breadcrumbs that they throw into you ain't worth it. Trying to go and save money, stack money with this person, it ain't working. It's not worth your peace. It's not worth your sanity. If somebody is not working on healing themselves through their trauma, that may not be the situation for you. I don't care if it's a narcissist or not. Because guess what? We can't stay in the same place. We're continuing to grow and elevate as a people, as a whole. And I don't want for you guys to allow nothing or no one to come in between you and your higher self. It is time to feel so that you can heal it. Stop ignoring these little sly remarks. Stop bending over backwards and people pleasing for people that you can't please anyway. Also, that's not self-love. People pleasing. As long as you try to please the people, you'll never be pleased. Set your intentions right now. And I think that's what a lot of y'all are doing. And if not, do that now on what do you want, where do you want to see yourself going? And it's without this person, without this thing that you're attached to. Because like I said, when you're dealing with narcissists, you guys could have a habit together. You guys could be addicted to the fighting, bickering, and arguing. You guys could have bonded over abuse that you guys may have shared. You guys may have bonded over abuse that you guys are giving to each other. You guys could bond over verbal, mental abuse. It could be so many things. And as long as you're working towards healing it, you'll start seeing that, hey, something's not right. I don't have to put up with this. I don't want this for myself. I've done this. I'm working on this for myself and for the person that I've caused trauma to. It's never too late. It's never too late. You know, with the narcissist, you feel like you got the weight of the world on your shoulders. And you know that even though y'all may have experienced similar things, this person is not handling their trauma like you. And it's not a bad thing because everybody's not the same. But the fact that hurt people. So I'm intentionally going out, and because I know I've been hurt, I'm going to go and hurt this person that loves me. I'm going to go and hurt this person that got my back. I'm going to go and hurt this person that I have gained their trust. Those aren't people that you would like to associate yourself with on your way to healing. On your way up the ladder, you're going to constantly get pulled down by people that are draining you of your energy. By continuing to keep this thing going because you feel like you guys have a bond. You guys, even if you feel like, I don't care, I still got a bond. Okay, you got a bond, and bond over to your own spot safely and let them bond over to there. Because at the end of the day, bonding with these people can get you hurt. It can get you killed. And if you realize that you have the traumas, yes, you've experienced the trauma, but now you've healed from it, so it no longer triggers you, then you'll be able to sniff out a narcissist when they're coming, because they're coming to essentially play or trigger you with that trauma. You'll start seeing the more that you heal, that it's going to be, you'll be able to get out of those situations quicker. You'll be able to realize that you'll be able to hear about a conversation, what's going on. You'll be able to ask somebody, you guys get to talking about your backstory, and you ask this person, well, how did you heal your trauma? How did you deal with it? Notice these people, they don't have no response for how they dealt with their trauma. Or they dealt with their trauma by, something that may not have been high vibrational. You have to be the judge of your own life. You judge you as far as, is this going to be a good choice? Should I go into a situation with someone like this? Are we going to be able to grow together? Am I going to be able to grow as an individual with this person, as with this person in my life? So there's a lot of questions that we may have to ask ourselves when dealing with anyone, because we all have traumas. So it ain't like you can avoid people with traumas, because you got traumas as well as other people have traumas. But it is very crucial that when bonding with a narcissist, you know that they're a narcissist, because they're going to throw up your traumas back in your face. They're going to use your traumas against you. They're going to continue to trigger you. They're going to continue to guilt trip you or play onto what they know has happened in your life. They're going to play on whatever has transpired between you and them. So again, I'm just bringing this video to let you guys know that heal the trauma that breaks the bond with the narcissist. I don't care who it is. And I also looked up TRA. So TRA in trauma means farewell. And then UMA or AMA, splendor, calm, tranquility. So trauma is saying basically goodbye to being at peace. Trauma is a stealer of your peace, stealer of joys, your joy. It's a thief. Don't keep allowing these thieves called trauma to steal your happiness, your joy, your peace, you being able to enjoy your present moment. Again, heal it so you can feel it. And this is going to essentially slowly but surely start breaking your bond that you have with the narcissist. And even if you've already left the narcissist, you can still continue on your end by yourself to continue to work on breaking that bond, because essentially you're still going to be thinking about this person. Your mindset it still may be the same. The triggers may be replaying over and over again. Thoughts that you have that the narcissist has said to you have brought up your past, and so many other things, nasty things that you have to deal with. Trauma is one thing that you have to work on for yourself. This is you and you alone. It's your trauma. Your baggage that you have to deal with. Your baggage that you can heal. Again, so thank you again for tuning in. Everyone have a great day. Bye.